Welcome to Deep Sleep Stories. My name is Matt. I know this podcast is quite new, but some of you have been following along for a while now. As you may have noticed, the narrator has changed a couple of times already in just a few months. The truth is, the podcast has been growing extremely slow, and basically nobody has left us any reviews so far. I'm here as the new voice of the podcast and would love to stick around, but I need your support to do so. Please, if you enjoy our content, it would mean so much to us if you could just leave us a review on whichever podcast platform you use. Now, take a deep breath and let's begin tonight's story.
Welcome to Deep Sleep Stories, a gentle place where you can drift away on soft currents of serenity. Tonight, you're invited to join a quiet voyage to the luminous shores of Mykonos, a realm of sapphire nights, salt-kissed breezes, and the soothing lullaby of the Aegean Sea. Before we begin, take a moment to settle into your chosen place of rest. Notice how your body nestles against soft sheets or comforting cushions, how your breath slows with each gentle inhale. Feel the day's tensions melting away as you exhale, releasing any worries into the stillness around you. Here in the space between wakefulness and dreams, you have permission to let go. The world outside can gently fade, and all that remains is a shimmering invitation to relax, release, and wander into a story that seeks to lull you into peaceful slumber. One single breath at a time, you unwind, sinking deeper. Soon you'll be carried on a comforting tide of words, a slow current of images and sensations that leads you toward a placid harbor of rest. Tonight's journey glows with a moonlit promise, beckoning you toward the tranquil shores of Mykonos. Let the softness of the air around you cradle each thought, each heartbeat, until you are perfectly at ease. In your mind's eye, let a warm, opalescent glow appear, a gentle flicker of light that will guide you forward. Exhale any last fragments of tension and simply be here, open to a restful experience. Now, if you feel yourself sinking deeper, that's good. Each breath is a step into the calm that awaits. When you're ready, let us begin our dreamy, meandering tale. Far away where the sky meets the tranquil Aegean Sea, a slow breeze whispers across the island of Mykonos. The evening light has just given way to a wondrous dusk, and soft shadows stretch lazily across the shores. In this peaceful place, a young traveler named Anicia arrives in search of rest. She carries a light satchel over her shoulder, its contents carefully chosen for a simple stay by the coast. Her steps follow a narrow path of smooth white stones, leading from the tiny harbor toward a quiet retreat built of sand-colored walls and gently curving archways. As twilight unfolds, a hush envelops the land, as if all noise from the day has retreated. Anisha pauses to take in the sea's gentle hush, the water shimmering like liquid sapphire. Moonlight plays on the rippling surface, creating glints of silver. A light, salted wind caresses her skin. There is no rush here, no urgency. The soft tide hums an ancient lullaby that resonates in her heart, guiding her toward a sense of surrender. She presses on, passing olive trees whose branches sway in the mild breeze, their leaves catching faint beams from the rising moon. Now and then, an evening cricket chirps, its voice echoing across the open fields. As she walks, her breathing aligns with the rhythmic hush of the waves, and she feels herself melding into the island's peaceful pulse. The glow of lanterns hung along the pathways reveals little pockets of warmth in the crisp night air. Each lamp flickers a soft, golden light, and Anicia's footsteps become slower with each passing moment, as if guided by the gentle dance of flame. Arriving at a modest courtyard, she finds a low wooden bench. Pale bougainvillea blossoms spill over a whitewashed wall, their soft petals framing the space like a tender wreath of pink and white. Here, she gently sets down her satchel and takes a quiet moment to gaze upward. The sky is vast and filled with distant stars, each twinkling with a secret promise. She allows her mind to drift, gathering the island's serenity into her being. In the hush of twilight, she feels a sense of timelessness, as though all her cares have dissolved. Soon she stands and continues toward a small cottage perched near the shoreline. Its walls are gentle ivory, echoing the moon's glow. A set of wooden shutters, painted pale blue, rest slightly ajar, allowing a mild sea breeze to wander inside. Tonight, she will call this place home, a sanctuary that gently welcomes weary souls with the promise of deep rest. Stepping through the doorway, Anicia finds herself in a cool, open room. The terracotta tiles beneath her feet retain a pleasant warmth from the day's sun, as though they have quietly stored gentle heat to greet her in the evening hours. The walls are adorned with simple woven tapestries in soft beige and gray, images of stylized waves and olive branches that pay homage to the land's natural rhythms. In one corner, a window seat offers plush cushions covered in a linen fabric. There, the gentle hush of the sea can be heard most clearly. She sets her satchel on a small wooden table and gently opens the shutters. A velvety breeze flows in, ruffling her hair and filling the cottage with that comforting aroma of salt and distant cypress. She inhales slowly, feeling the tension in her shoulders melt away. The night's stillness seems to hold her in a tender embrace. Slipping off her sandals, she crosses the room and places them near the door. Her gaze lingers on the low bed with its white cotton sheets. She imagines how perfectly restful it might feel. Yet, before allowing herself to lie down, she has an impulse to wander the shoreline beneath the moon's gentle radiance. She senses the magnetic pull of the softly rolling tide. With a calm heart, Anicia quietly steps out onto a narrow path leading from her cottage to the water's edge. The stones underfoot feel pleasant, and a soft crunch meets her ears with every step. As she nears the beach, the rhythmic wash of waves becomes more pronounced, lulling her forward with a languid tempo. The moon above is nearly full, its pale glow turning the waves into a tapestry of silver and sapphire. She stops at the brink of the sea, letting her feet sink into the cool, damp sand. A mild wave rushes up, sliding across her ankles. The soft foam makes a gentle, rhythmic sound as it swirls around her feet. Beyond the horizon, faint lights from distant islands flicker. She stands there, quietly breathing in the night, the ocean, the weightless hush of starlight. Everything feels slow and suspended in time, as if the heart of the world beats softly beneath the waves. Minutes seem to stretch into a gentle lull, and when she finally steps away, her footprints remain for only a moment before the gentle sea washes them away. There's a comfort in witnessing that simple act of nature, reminding her that nothing here demands anything of her but stillness and acceptance. Returning to her cottage, she carefully closes the shutters partway, allowing the cool breeze to continue drifting in, yet tempering the night air so it feels like a warm, welcoming blanket. She finds a candle on a small table, lights it, and watches the flame dance briefly. Its soothing glow illuminates the white walls, with a gentle flicker making the room feel cozier. She changes into soft, flowing garments and settles onto the bed, propping her back against a few pillows. Nearby, the candle's light is reflected in a small mirror, creating the illusion of golden petals that quiver and shimmer along the walls. Her thoughts meander toward the stories she has heard about Mykonos at night. She recalls tales of siren songs, of hidden coves and gentle breezes that carry whispers of old legends. Yet there is nothing haunting here, only the promise of deep rest, of letting go into the soothing arms of the Aegean. She breathes in this reassurance and with a relaxed exhale blows out the candle. Darkness descends like a comforting quilt, broken only by the soft, silver glow from the moonlit shutters. The hush in the cottage is profound, yet not lonely. Outside, the waves roll on, an ancient lullaby that has played through millennia of nights. Gradually, her eyelids begin to grow heavy. Her muscles loosen, her fingers uncurl. She nestles deeper into the softness of the bed, letting her mind drift away from the busyness of life. And so, her first night on the island envelops her in calm, carrying her off into a silent realm of gentle dreams. She sleeps deeply, lulled by the wave-sung cradle of Mykonos' shoreline, her breathing slow and even. It's a night of sweet respite, of memories lost to slumber, replaced by the nourishing hush of distant tides. When morning arrives, a sunbeam finds its way through the shutters, painting the cottage walls in soft gold. She rouses slowly, feeling refreshed. Outside, the sky is clear, and the promise of a new day whispers through the open windows. She dresses in light attire and steps onto a stone terrace lined with lush potted plants. The citrusy fragrance of lemon trees mingles with the sweet smell of newly blooming flowers, greeting her senses with gentle optimism. Just beyond the terrace, a small garden awaits. Mint, Lavender and basil grow in simple clay pots, each giving the breeze a delicate perfume. Honeybees buzz contentedly, floating from one lavender sprig to the next. Anisha finds a small wooden bench where she can sit. She draws in a deep breath, letting the aromas of herbs and fresh coastal air awaken her gently. With slow, thoughtful steps, she eventually moves from the garden toward a modest outdoor kitchen beside the cottage. There she prepares a simple morning meal, a slice of warm bread, a bit of cheese, and olives kissed by the island sun. The taste is pure and soothing, each bite a calm invitation to the day. As she sips a cup of herbal tea, she senses an unhurried joy flowing through her. There's no need to hurry. The sun, the sea, and the breeze have all the time in the world, and so does she. Once her meal is finished, she decides to explore a bit further. Wandering along a narrow path away from the cottage, she comes upon a cluster of whitewashed houses perched on gentle cliffs overlooking the water. Bright blue doors and shutters mark each humble abode, while narrow cobblestone lanes twist between them. Little pockets of color appear where bougainvillea spills over walls, bursting with pink, magenta, and fuchsia blossoms. The sunlight caresses the stones, giving them a comforting warmth that radiates upward into her steps. In time, she discovers a small, hidden courtyard where a trickling fountain glimmers in the midday light. Stone benches circle around, offering quiet places to rest. Soft green vines trail from overhead trellises, creating dancing shadows on the ground. Near the fountain, a tabby cat dozes, purring faintly in the sunshine. When it notices her, it yawns and stretches, but remains thoroughly relaxed, an embodiment of the island's gentle spirit. She rests on a bench near the water's trickling melody, letting her mind drift. Now and then, a warm breeze brushes against her face. The cat approaches to investigate, gazing at her with curious, half-closed eyes, then curling at her feet for a few contented moments. All around, the hush of midday creates a dreamlike feeling. There's a sense of timelessness, as though the busy outside world doesn't exist here. After some time in that hidden courtyard, Anisha stands, bidding a silent farewell to her feline companion, and continues her exploration. The gentle slope of the path eventually brings her to the edge of a short cliff, where a panoramic view of the sea stretches out. Below, waves lap at dark, sea-smoothed rocks. Far out on the horizon, a solitary sailboat drifts with the breeze, its white sail catching the golden sunlight. The gentle azure of the sky meets the deeper blues of the sea, blending into a horizon that shimmers with infinite possibility. She closes her eyes and lets the breeze wrap around her like a soft shawl, enveloping her in a sense of weightless peace. The distant cry of a seabird echoes, and the endless roll of the tide rises to fill her ears. For a moment she imagines herself as a feather on the wind, floating effortlessly above the water. Each breath is slow, gentle, and sure. She realizes she has come to a place where time seems to dissolve, leaving only the essence of calm. Later, when the warmth of the day reaches its zenith, she returns to her cottage, finding a shaded spot on the terrace. She settles onto a cushioned bench, enjoying the hush. In her hands, she holds a small notebook, pages inviting new words or sketches. Yet she doesn't feel compelled to write. Instead, her eyes drift over the sea, following the lines of shimmering light on the surface. She feels a gentle pull toward rest again, and so she drifts into a light doze, the midday quiet lulling her. She wakes to the sound of rustling leaves, noticing the shadows have shifted. The day has started its gentle descent, the quality of sunlight softening into a warmer, more golden hue. She decides to walk back to the beach for a cooling dip. Slowly she makes her way across the sand, the small grains warm underfoot. Reaching the water, she wades in, feeling the cool embrace of the sea around her ankles, calves, then waist. Finally, she submerges in the gentle waves, letting her body float. Salt-laced water buoys her easily, rocking her in a subtle dance. She closes her eyes, letting the lull of the water cradle her, until thoughts dissolve into the simple awareness of being gently swayed. The water's surface reflects the sky, capturing the gold-tinged clouds drifting overhead. There's no hurry to leave this weightless serenity. She feels herself merging with the gentle pulse of the ocean. Time drifts with her, unmeasured. When at last she steps out of the sea, the sun's warmth envelops her. She stands on the shore, allowing the last drops of water to trail down her skin. Her mind feels clear, like a wide-open canvas. She strolls along the beach's edge, noticing little shells with lavender streaks and delicate spiral shapes. Seabirds leave tiny footprints in the wet sand, soon to be washed away by the gentle tide. Each moment is complete in itself. An endless invitation to breathe and be still. As twilight begins to descend, the sky transforms into a tapestry of pink and violet, reflecting off the calm waves. Returning to the cottage, she lights a small lantern on the terrace and prepares a simple evening meal. Tonight's spread includes fresh vegetables, a bit of local olive oil, and a slice of soft bread. The flavors are comforting, connecting her to the island's earthiness. Sitting on the terrace bench, she feasts her eyes on the warm glow of the fading sun, sipping water infused with mint leaves. Once the meal is done, she tidies up and decides to take a brief walk toward the nearest settlement. The pathway is softly illuminated by scattered lanterns, their gentle light dancing on the white walls. Even at this hour, the island's tranquility dominates. The air feels slightly cooler, stirring a sense of calm that resonates in her heart. In the distance, a quiet melody drifts from a small taverna where a musician plucks strings with a soulful, unhurried tempo. She only listens from afar, drawn by the soft resonance that seems to blend with the chirp of nighttime crickets. In the open night sky above, the moon rises, large and luminous, washing the island in its pearly glow. Little by little, the last hues of orange and pink leave the horizon, surrendering to a deep blue that ushers in a sparkling array of stars. Nisha feels a warm flutter of joy, though calm and steady in the face of such gentle beauty. Continuing her walk, she passes a handful of quaint houses. Gentle lamps inside flicker through window shutters, revealing cozy scenes of quiet dinners or simple relaxation. There is a sense of shared peace here, as if the entire island has conspired to create a haven for rest. Slowly she turns and makes her way back to her cottage, the soft crunch of gravel marking her steps. The sea is once again her guide, its hush constant and reassuring. Back inside, she leaves the shutters open so the faint glow of moonlight can drift in. The night air is mild, and she revels in the gentle swirl of breeze that carries the faint scent of lavender from the garden. She changes into her nighttime attire, carefully folding the day's clothes and placing them aside. After lighting a small candle, she sits on the edge of the bed, breathing in the moment, listening to the hush. Her mind wanders through the day's impressions: the salty ocean, the sun-warmed stones, the friendly courtyard cat, the sweet murmur of leaves. Each memory feels soft, like a tender cushion for her thoughts. She exhales slowly, blowing out the candle in a delicate puff of breath. Darkness again welcomes her, drawing her deeper into the arms of nighttime. Before long, she settles under the lightweight sheets, the breeze drifting across her skin. The moon climbs higher, illuminating the waves. Outside, the tide sings its ancient lullaby, and inside, a peaceful hush ensnares every corner of her consciousness. Sleep beckons, a gentle invitation impossible to resist. Her eyelids close softly. Dreams come in slow, subtle waves, carrying her through pleasant scenes of star-filled skies and rolling seas. She slumbers deeply, fully embraced by the cradle of Mykonos. Come morning, she wakes to the cooing of doves perched on the cottage roof. The fresh air greets her lungs. Rising with ease, she looks outside to see the sun once again bathing the island in gentle radiance. She steps out onto her terrace, feeling the warmth under her toes, breathing in that first fresh breath of day. In the distance, the horizon seems to shimmer with promise. Later, after another simple breakfast, she decides to explore a different part of the island, a place where gentle hills rise and look out over hidden beaches. She walks along a winding path lined with wild thyme and yellow blossoms. Butterflies float by, their wings reflecting bits of sunlight. In the distance, rocky cliffs mark the perimeter where the sky seems to touch the sea. View is expansive and humbling in its quiet majesty. Along the way, she meets a shepherd guiding a small flock of goats. His face is kindly, lined with years of island sun. He greets her with a nod, and the goats glance at her curiously, then continue along, their bells tinkling like little wind chimes. The path meanders toward an old stone chapel perched on a low hill. Its door is a faded turquoise, and inside the coolness is immediate. The quiet is profound, as those centuries of silent prayers linger in the still air. She pauses briefly, allowing the hush to envelop her, sensing a timeless sanctuary. Stepping back outside, she continues along the hill until she finds a vantage point overlooking a small bay. Pristine water gently laps at the shore, where a scattering of pebbles line the beach. She descends toward the cove, each step accompanied by the distant whoosh of waves against the land. Upon reaching the water's edge, she removes her sandals and steps onto the pebbles. They are smooth, worn by countless tides. Placing a hand over her heart, she breathes in the cool scent of the ocean. The water sparkles like liquid jewels under the midday sun. Secluded and serene, the bay welcomes her presence as if it has been waiting just for her. The hours pass in a lazy drift, watching the waves come and go. She finds a comfortable spot on a flat rock, listening to the water swirl around the stones below. A gentle current of daydreams flows through her mind, calm and unburdened. When the sun begins to dip toward late afternoon, she gathers herself and returns up the winding path. The softness of the day follows her, as though the island itself wishes her journey to remain unhurried. By the time she reaches the cottage, the sky has grown golden again, with streaks of soft lavender marking the horizon. Eager for the soothing comfort of water, she returns to the shoreline near her temporary home. This time the tide is lower, exposing more of the damp sand. She walks barefoot, letting each step sink, leaving a faint trail behind. The sea is placid, tinted pink by the setting sun. She slips into the water for a gentle swim, the temperature perfect, neither cool nor warm, just a quiet envelope of buoyancy. Her strokes are slow, and she feels each wave cradle her limbs in a tender rhythm. Floating on her back, she gazes upward, watching wispy clouds drift across the sky. It feels as though she is part of the ocean's tapestry, woven gently between sky and sea. Eventually she emerges from the water, cleansed by the salt and lulled by the day's lingering hush. A sense of calm gratitude fills her for the simple gift of being present in such a place. She dries off and makes her way to the cottage, where she settles in for another tranquil evening. Perhaps she'll read a few pages of a worn book she brought with her, or simply watch the stars appear. But her body and mind remain in a subdued, restful state. Each moment, an invitation to go slower still. Twilight deepens and she lights her candle once more, letting its soft glow accompany her as she slips into a thin robe. The fabric is light against her skin, reminiscent of the gentle sea breeze that caresses the shutters. In the flickering lantern light, the shadows on the walls resemble gently swaying seagrass. Outside, the moon once again claims the sky, and the stars gleam in silent chorus. The air holds a mild sweetness, as though mingled with the subtle fragrance of night-blooming flowers. A wave of drowsiness settles over her, ushered in by the distant lull of the surf. Slowly, she extinguishes the lantern. The darkness is kind, welcoming her to sink deeper into the embrace of night. In her final waking moments, she lets the waves' lullaby fill her mind, each soft crash, a reassurance that tomorrow will bring more of the same gentle rhythms. Her eyelids grow heavy, and she drifts into a dream state where moonlit beaches and starlit horizons whisper lullabies of timeless stillness. Night after night, this pattern continues, each evening inviting her to step into the hush of Mykonos' sapphire nights. She feels the weight of daily life dissolving, replaced by the profound simplicity of a rhythmic tide, a bright moon, and the softness of whitewashed walls under starlight. She has found a refuge for her heart, a place where worries recede like footprints washed by the sea. Now, dear traveler who has journeyed through this gentle account, the story softens like a final note fading into the hush of night. In the gentle darkness, there is no more effort to be made, no more steps to climb, no more paths to wander, only the slow, steady rhythm of breath and the tender embrace of a peaceful world. Let the echoes of calm settle into your limbs. Breathe in slow, breathe out slow, letting each exhalation carry away the day's remaining tension. The hush of waves, the glow of moonlight, the tender hush of a gentle island night, they have all conspired to cradle you, to rock you gently into sleep. Your mind can drift like a feather upon still water, free of any burdens. Each moment is simpler, softer. Feel your eyelids grow heavy as the final traces of wakefulness dissolve. Let the soothing arms of slumber guide you into a deep, renewing rest. There's nothing else you need to do. The story of sapphire nights in Mykonos has settled in your thoughts. A lullaby that quietly hums in the background, its notes weaving through your dreams. Let your breath grow softer, your heartbeat calmer. Sink deeper into the quiet that surrounds you. In the stillness, find the gift of true rest, the quiet knowledge that you are safe, held, and at ease. Tonight, let the gentle island breezes carry you into sweet, untroubled sleep. Tomorrow, a new dawn will come in its own time. For now, surrender to this hush. Good night, dear traveler. Sleep well.